Great transportation cities are places where walking and cycling are the safest and most convenient ways of getting around, and transit is fast, frequent, reliable, and accessible to everyone. As our city continues to grow, our transportation decisions are critical to ensure a future that is thriving, healthy, and sustainable. There are many reasons for this. In no particular order. Economy. Past plans to make Vancouver a compact, livable city has helped to attract new residents and jobs, and it is important that future plans continue in this direction. Sustainable transportation choices support a strong economy by enabling the exchange of goods, services, and ideas throughout the city. This positions Vancouver as a place where the world wants to live, to work, and to do business. It also increases our reputation as a tourism destination, creating jobs and opportunities for residents. And it supports our role as a major port and entrance to North America. Health. Sustainable transportation choices mean healthier and more active citizens, improved air quality, and reduced accident risk, resulting in higher quality of life and significantly reduced public healthcare costs. Environment. Great transportation cities are less reliant on motor vehicles, which are among the largest sources of greenhouse gases and other pollutants. In Vancouver, light-duty vehicles accounted for over 30% of greenhouse gas emissions in 2008. Sustainable transportation choices help us clean our air, reduce our carbon footprint, and lead in the fight against climate change. They are also compact places that can grow without sprawling, allowing for preservation and restoration of important agricultural lands and ecologically sensitive areas throughout the region. Affordability. Sustainable transportation costs a lot less than driving, especially if the need to own a car is reduced. Households that go car light or car free save thousands of dollars each year, money that can be spent on housing or in the local economy. Community. Cities that focus on moving people have more vibrant public spaces and provide richer cultural experiences and more opportunities for social interaction. Resiliency. Great transportation cities are better prepared to deal with increasing gas prices since they are less reliant on fossil fuels. They also have the capacity and flexibility to host big events and the ability to respond to the unexpected. Before we look ahead, it's helpful to look back over the past 15 years or so to see how far we've come since the last plan was written. We've already met or exceeded most of our original 2021 goals from the 1997 plan. One great trend for us is that while population, jobs, and number of trips continue to grow, the number of cars entering the city is declining. This is true at a citywide scale, and it's also true for the downtown, where the numbers are even more dramatic. So for the past 15 years, we've been accommodating growth not by driving, but by walking, cycling, and public transit. Our census trip-to-work numbers have slightly different years, but they tell the same story. Citywide, total commute trips are up, commuting by car is down, and the growth in trips is being accommodated on foot, bike, and transit. The story is the same downtown as well. There are more commute trips, but the growth is being accommodated sustainably. Much of our success to date has been about good transportation and land use decisions and investments. As we look ahead, we know that our city will continue to grow and change. Over the next 30 years or so, we're anticipating well over 130,000 new residents and close to 90,000 new jobs, bringing more trips and more life to the city. If past trends continue, we'll be older and even more diverse. There are already some existing goals and targets for the future. The 1997 Transportation Plan set targets for 2021, the majority of which were achieved by 2006. Through the recent Greenest City initiative, new goals and targets have been set for 2020. I'll talk more about those in a moment. There are also provincial transit targets for 2020 and 2030, to increase transit mode share and reduce greenhouse gases, and TransLink regional targets for 2040. The updated transportation plan will support and build upon the greenest city directions, as well as recent regional and provincial targets. It will also set new targets out to 2040 and identify indicators to help us track our progress on the way. Through Greenest City, we've set long-term city goals to make the majority of trips on foot, bike, and transit, including 2020 targets to make 50% of trips by sustainable mode, and to reduce average distance driven per resident 20% from 2007 levels. To eliminate dependence on fossil fuels, including targets to reduce greenhouse gases 33% from 2007 levels by 2020 and 80% by 2050. And to breathe the cleanest air of any major city in the world. These are lofty ambitions, but we can get there by working together. Our 50% sustainable mode target is ambitious but achievable, given that we were around 33% in 1994 and 40% in 2008. These numbers are from before the Canada Line opened, so they're likely even higher today. There is a big but, however. Through city-led initiatives, we think we can increase the walking and cycling share to around 25% by 2020. We need the transit share to grow too. But right now in Vancouver, transit demand exceeds supply in many areas. Transit isn't owned or operated by the city, so we'll need support from TransLink and other partners to deliver key capacity improvements. We can do it if we work together. The Olympics taught us that anything is possible. During the Games, we accommodated over 40% more trips into our downtown every day, but we did it with 30% fewer car trips. Trips on foot, bike, and transit doubled. A recent survey by the Board of Trade indicates that over 40% of the region's residents changed their travel patterns during the Olympics, and that a quarter of those people have continued with these new patterns. And over 60% of drivers indicate that they are interested in leaving the car at home if convenient alternatives are in place. This is a significant Olympic legacy to build from. We live in one of the world's great cities. So much of what makes Vancouver special is the result of paths we've chosen and roads we've managed to avoid. Help us choose our path forward by getting involved in the Transportation Plan Update. Your ideas and support will lead us to a cleaner, greener, better city.